What will it take to end the Russia-Ukraine war? The war that has killed or wounded over 1 million Russians and Ukrainians since it began in February 2022. Well, we may have an answer to that question now, and it is in the origins of the war itself. Hi, you're watching India Today Global with me, Ishita Mitra, and today we'll break down a major development in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. Now, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has suggested a potential way forward for peace. And this is in the form of a ceasefire deal. Well, it looks like it is a season of ceasefires. And there's a twist here. Now, the ceasefire agreement involves North Atlantic Treaty Organization or NATO, a US-led military alliance. And the primary purpose of this collective alliance is collective defense, which is an attack on one member is considered an attack on all. So what the wartime president has proposed is that Ukraine's NATO membership should be extended to its unoccupied territories. And this will allow Kyiv to focus on regaining control of the rest of the country through diplomatic means. So what does this mean? These sound very diplomatic and complex statements. Let me break it down for you. In a recent interview, President Zelensky outlined an idea that could end what he called the hot phase of the war with Russia. He said that if Ukraine's internationally recognized territories that remain under Ukrainian control were brought under the NATO umbrella, then a ceasefire could be reached. And this would provide Ukraine with military and security protection offered by NATO, which could further act as a shield to prevent Russian expansion. Now understand this. What basically Zelensky is saying is that if the Ukrainian territory could be considered as C, and there are two parts of it, that's A and B. And A is the part that is under Ukrainian control and B is the part that is under Russian control. So Zelensky is saying, get us NATO membership, help us protect the part that is still under our control, that is the A part. And then when we have the A part under control and Russia can no longer expand further, then we through diplomatic means go ahead and talk about the B part that is still under Russian control. And this is when you consider Ukraine as a whole as C. This is basically what Zelensky is saying. Now for Zelensky, if you see, the priority right now is to securing the territories that Ukraine still controls. Because as he put it, this would need to happen fast with NATO offering protection to those areas immediately. He's saying that those areas which we call as A have to be protected so that Russia cannot go further and expand and take over more territories. Now viewers, you see, Zelensky wants to create this deal as a foundation for peace negotiations. But then Ukraine could move forward towards gaining territories which are still under Russian control. And that would happen in a diplomatic way. He's saying that we will sit on the table and talk to Russia about the territories that still are under its control. Now you see viewers, this is a significant shift from Zelensky's previous stand. If you have been following Russia-Ukraine war or international developments, you will see that this is a rare statement made by the wartime president, because throughout the war, throughout the conflict, he has been saying, and he's remained firm on that we do not want to give up any Ukrainian land. And this included even Crimea. Now this part of land called as Crimea was annexed by Russia in 2014. Almost 10 years back now. So what Zelensky is saying this, through this deal, he's trying to open a door to a ceasefire that could see Russian forces retain control over parts of Ukraine territory. Now, this is a big statement. And although this is for temporary period, he's saying that those parts will be under Russian control for some time till we work out an agreement to secure the country's future. But again, even if it's for temporary, it is still a major statement coming from Zelensky himself. Now that you've understood what Zelensky has proposed, a major question arises. What is the situation on ground? How much land does Russia occupy and how much of the land is still under Ukraine's control? Well, you see, Russia's invasion of Ukraine began in February 22. And since then, much of eastern Ukraine, the southern regions, including key areas like Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, and Zaporizhzhia, you must be, hearing these names again and again since Russia-Ukraine war began. And I will repeat them: Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, Zaporizhzhia. So these areas have fallen under Russian control. And these regions, you see, were formally annexed by Russia in 2022 after controversial referendums, even though these referendums were not recognized by international community. And despite this, Russia continues to claim all of these areas as a part of its own territory. While Ukraine, on the other hand, has consistently held this position that these territories remain under Ukrainian control and that Russia's occupation is illegal. He's saying that whatever areas Russia has occupied since the war began and even before in 2014, they are under illegal occupation. And Russia obviously continues to gain ground in some other region as well. So this, so with Russia already having control of these regions in southern and eastern part of Ukraine and still making more gains as the conflict proceeds, has led to increasing international pressure. And some actors have come out, even the United States, saying that we could consider some possible peace options which could involve some form of territorial compromise on the part of Ukraine. And especially with Donald Trump returning to the White House, this could very well become a potential solution because, he is expected to take a more hands-on approach to ending this war. He's made a lot of claims saying that, I will end the war very quickly. Had he been in power when this happened, this would have never gone to this extent. So now the key aspect of Zelensky's new proposal is the idea of NATO membership. Zelensky has been after the alliance for so long that the country needs to be accepted as a part of the group. And this is what he's proposing now to protect Ukraine's remaining territory. But the problem here is that it is not as simple as it seems. Many Ukrainians and international allies are unlikely to support any permanent loss of land to Russia. Then I don't think there will be a consensus among even NATO members to give Ukraine membership, even if it's for the areas that are not occupied or that are still not under Russian control. And of course, if you try to understand Russia's position here, it has consistently maintained that it will not negotiate over the territories that it has annexed or over the territories which are still under its control. So which means there are challenges to this proposal that Zelensky has proposed as a way forward to achieving peace or to ending this war. But if you see, the proposed deal could still be a way of finding a middle ground in the ongoing conflict because it has been going on for almost 2 years now. We have seen that it has reached also stalemate in a lot of areas. So that means that President Zelensky's proposal cannot be taken lightly because it does offer a hope that maybe this could be the way forward to achieving some peace in the region, to ending the war, or maybe at least paving the way for something that could end the war eventually. And it signals a shift definitely towards diplomacy because so far we have seen there have been peace meets held by Ukraine. Russia has not been invited to that, or both the sides are not seeing eye to eye on a lot of issues. But here, Zelensky coming up and actually proposing a diplomatic path towards achieving peace is something that signifies an important development in the war. And with NATO getting involved and playing a key role in securing Ukraine's future, it becomes all the more significant to understand this development. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching this with India Today Global. So these were the latest developments that we got from Russia-Ukraine war, with Zelensky proposing a peace or a path towards ceasefire, where he says that if NATO gives us membership for the areas that are still under its control, we could go forward and maybe achieve peace in the ongoing war. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching this. Stay tuned to India Today Global, where we simplify geopolitics for you.